Welcome back to the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series Europe Premier League round of 16. We have played fantastic matches all night and all week, frankly. They've been a collection of really, really great games. But like all good things, they must come to an end. The round of 16 has just one more game to go. Just a very quick reminder for you as well, if you haven't already got your ticket for next weekend, the 25th and 26th of May, pop over to wcsfinals.eventbrite.com and reserve them now. They're going like hotcakes, so you better go over there very quickly indeed. Okay, let's check a bracket and show you exactly where we are right now. We've had 4 matches. We're about to have our 5th. We already know that Stefano has made it through as the 7th man this week. Who will join him? There are only 2 left. It's DIMAGA and ThorZaiN to fight it out for the final place in the round of 8. Also, quick reminder for you as well. After this match, we will have the post-match interview, of course, and we will have the round of 8 drawing. The quarterfinal draw will be live on this show before we finish this evening, so you'll know exactly what the matchups are before we're out live tonight. And, of course, we've got WCS Extra with a very special appearance from Mr. Carmack this evening. But for now, it's back to serious business. It's DIMAGA versus ThorZaiN for the final place in the WCS Premier League in Europe. It's over to your commentary team of Apollo and Kalaris.
Thanks very much, Red Eye. It's all come down to this, pretty much. This is the final series in the round of 16. And did we both check this? Anyway.
Well, I was actually almost kissing my mic, so I had to move my mic, sorry.
All right, okay. Yeah, it's a final series here in the round of 16. The final player will advance onto the round of 8. We already have quite a few Terrans, quite a few Zergs, only one little dinky Protoss.
Yeah, are we going to have a 3rd Zerg go through or another Terran coming through with this last game? It is a rematch from the 2nd game of the day, where we saw ThorZaiN wipe out with some Hellbats DIMAGA.
If we have another Terran advance, we can pretty much call the winner of the entire tournament right now in the form of 4GG.
Yeah, probably could.
Or we could see DIMAGA move on through and contend that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's really sad because both of these players would love to be there, and I think a lot of people at home would love to see both of these guys in the round of 16, but unfortunately, only one of them can go through. It's going to be ThorZaiN or DIMAGA. The other goes down.
Yeah. Well, DIMAGA kind of had a bit of a shaky run there against ThorZaiN in the end. ThorZaiN just played eloquently. But going up against Stefano, then DIMAGA had a bit of time to have a look at those games, and maybe we'll see different iterations of his game.
All right, well, the crowd is behind DIMAGA here.
Seemingly so.
It looks like he's giving him a cheeky smile.
They may have been cheering for Carmack, though. I can't decide.
Yeah, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Every time that Carmack walks past, they're cheering for DIMAGA, but DIMAGA thinks they're cheering for him.
He's like, yeah, I love these guys. Oh, it's Carmack. Okay. All right. So map votes. I think we might see some of the
Station eliminated.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure that DIMAGA will want to get rid of that. Also, Akalon Waste. Maybe those are his 2 vetoes. To get rid of Akalon Waste because it's easier for a turn to take a 3rd. And there's number 1. And maybe Star Station to prevent what
happened.
We saw previously.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Or it's either that or Belshir Vestige. It depends on how he wants to... Belshir Vestige is also very difficult, so...
Especially if ThorZaiN decides to play exactly the same style he did against Stefano and just kind of push up one side of the map whilst expanding behind it. It's really difficult to work out. So
what one is it?
Precinct goes.
Whirlwind okay. Goes. Getting rid of Whirlwind. So Belshir Vestige and Star Station available in there for ThorZaiN to play. And I quite like that map pool, to be honest, for ThorZaiN.
Yeah.
And we'll see which one he picks first. I couldn't quite...
I think he picked Belshir.
Belshir, so we're going to maybe have quite a heavy aggression play there from ThorZaiN. And falling on to the next map, maybe Neoplanet S. To be honest, though, if DIMAGA makes the adaptations necessary, it shouldn't be a problem what maps they go on to. Great manly handshake there from DIMAGA. Got to be careful about ThorZaiN's wrists.
I was going to say.
I heard the slap. I'm not sure if it come through the microphone or not, but definitely heard it.
DIMAGA, the most manly handshakes of all time, going up against ThorZaiN, who's cleaning his glasses.
Got to make sure he sees those banelings coming.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Those banelings.
Even though we say that, we haven't really seen any banelings today from DIMAGA against Terran.
It was Stefano that was going for them banelings.
That's right. The StarCraft World Champion Series last day in the round of 16 is about to happen between ThorZaiN, the rematch, up against DIMAGA, the laughing Zerg in the Cheeky Zerg.
Yeah, eyebrow Zerg. Oh, well, those were cute eyebrows, along with that smile.
There's a couple of
Cheeky
names you
Zerg's
can call
good.
tomorrow. Eyebrow Zerg, Bicep Zerg,
I like the cheeky Zerg.
Peck Zerg.
That was cute.
This guy's just the spoon.
Yeah, spoon, bro. All right, so the final series. Mr. ThorZaiN here against DIMAGA. Is DIMAGA going to go to EG? I'll stop. All right, so headphones adorned as we have Star Station for our first map against Belshire, but lip reading skills not working out this time. Again,
Yeah,
this is a
so
rematch.
There they are, Star Station, Belshire, and then Neoplanet S between these two guys. Remember, DIMAGA likewise, we know how we talked about Stefano watched DIMAGA play and then adapted his own play, being both Zerg players. DIMAGA now had the chance to watch how Stefano won against ThorZaiN, and we'll see what adaptations DIMAGA's going to make. Likewise, ThorZaiN could change it up a little bit. We saw a little bit of variation on the last, or one of the maps, Belshire Vestige, when he went for Cloak Banshee over Hellbat Drop.
Yeah, yeah.
But every other game was pretty much Hellbat Drop. It was, I think, against Stefano, it was 2 Hellbat Drops and 1 Cloak Banshee.
I'd love to see a different build here from DIMAGA on Star Station. It didn't really work out for him before. And we are now jumping on in to game number 1 here between DIMAGA and ThorZaiN as they get good to go, facing off against one another. Cross spawns. And spawning up to the top left, as are Red Terran, fighting for that Terran dominance. We'll see if he's going to be able to do it. So representing EG and Sweden, give it up for ThorZaiN. And then spawning down to the bottom right. Seemingly a fan favorite here. As our Blue Zerg, representing the Ukraine, give it up for DIMAGA.
Delayed response.
Bit delayed there, guys. What's going on?
It's great to see DIMAGA back in the scene.
Yeah.
Like, I was sad that he was missing because in the last 6 over months, maybe more than that, I mean, you could push 6 to 9 months. All the Zerg players in Europe, the Zerg has been dominated by Nurcho, Vortex, and Stefano over and over and over. But DIMAGA's always been one of those players. I remember back when, in 2011, when he played in the World Championship, everyone was like, DIMAGA's #1 in the world, or #1 Zerg outside of Korea. Just because, you know, he played a great run, beat Nesty, I almost said Nurcho, Nesty, beat MVP, beat July Zerg. And those guys were, you know, incredible at that point in the game.
They were. I'd almost forgotten about July Zerg for a second there.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure Nesty was the GSL format one. I think it was the World versus Korea, and then it was the other one. There was 2 tournaments they played in, and yeah.
Yep. So we shall see now if DIMAGA can attain those heights once again. I have to echo your sentiments. I would love to see that happen. ThorZaiN, he's always been known as one of the best Terrans here in Europe. But coming back to the past week of results here for DIMAGA, he's to Lucifron and Happy 2-0 during the ISO Cup final pretty convincingly. So going up against ThorZaiN is a tall order, as you could arguably put him on a plinth alongside those 2 players, although Lucifron is looking pretty godly at the moment.
Yeah, Lucifron's incredible, and everybody online that plays against Happy says that he's one of the best players now, and I think he claimed that with his WCS results too. So, you know, they're 2 fantastic players. It's up to ThorZaiN to play up to their standard, and if he can, then he can also 2-0 DIMAGA here today. Again. Well, not again, but beat him again, I guess.
Yeah, he heads on in, sees the gas, so knows exactly what he's going to be confronting here. Noticeably, DIMAGA did change his Overlord route. So...
yeah, good point, good point.
That was not picked off there.
Like Stefano did. We do have quite a normal opening from DIMAGA, just getting the Zergling speed, and then we'll take out gas afterwards by the looks of it. But on the other hand, we do have the second gas taken again here by ThorZaiN. So every game he's opted, instead of taking a fast third command center like we see the Korean Terrans do, Innovation, Flash, Tasia, more and more of the other Terran players, a second gas has been thrown down. Is it Hellbats again? Or do we see a change-up? Cloak Banshee, second factory, the Blue Flame Hellion attack, something.
Big amount of Hellions would be cool to see.
Big amount of Hellions. You know, there's a couple of variations from ThorZaiN to choose from with taking this second gas at such a time.
I must say, I really liked... it was 4GG that was doing that, right? Just a lot of Hellions, was it? I can't remember. When he was going up against TLO.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I really liked seeing that.
It was consistent Hellions, like Hellions and a few Marines thrown in there. couple of medivacs.
Yeah, it was pretty good. In the end, obviously, it didn't kind of thwart TLO, as TLO's playing very, very well right now as well. But it would be cool to see if ThorZaiN want to mix things up. Don't want to be playing too predictable against a player like DIMAGA that can eventually adapt to what you're doing if he sees it many times in a row. So Starport, well, as well as the Armory. It's Hellbats all the way, my friend.
So ThorZaiN wants to open up the same way he did every single game against DIMAGA. He beat DIMAGA before, so why change a winning strategy? So we'll have to see DIMAGA's reaction into this game. He hasn't scouted or spotted anything here. We'll have to see what time he gets his Roach Warren down. Is it down earlier than the double evolution chamber and layer? Because it was quite late previously. Stefano's big difference between DIMAGA was actually the Roach timing. It was down much, much earlier, and he built about 4 to 5 Roaches to deal with the Hellbats.
Yep, depending alongside those upgrades as well. There was a slight difference in what we were seeing there from him. And those 2 evolution chambers do go down now. DIMAGA's getting his creep spread going pretty rapidly here. Although that 3rd creep tumor, if he's going to land it, is going to get picked off by these Hellions if he's not careful. Or that one, in fact.
Yeah, and he doesn't cancel it either, so loses a creep tumor. Not the best of starts here. No Roach Warren coming down yet, as the Hellbats are on the way. He's going to have to be very careful. There it is, coming in. Okay, so he does get the Roach Warren down. It should finish up just in time to build Roaches and to deal with these Hellbats.
And it feels to me like European Terrans right now have a very, very good understanding of how Hellbats work in comparison to even Korean Terrans. European Terrans in the form of like ThorZaiN, Happy, Lucifron really have this nailed down to an absolute science, and they perform it so well.
Roach upgrades as well, so he's not changing anything. Both players playing almost identical to how they played in the second set of the day here, the first set for both of them, as the Hellbats making their way on the right-hand side. Remember, DIMAGA hasn't scouted anything, has no idea. He's adding on some Spore Crawlers just in case. 4 Roaches are coming in, 5 Roaches coming in, and it has been spotted.
And he starts those range upgrades as well, so that's going to give us a tip-off as to what exactly he's going to be doing here, but they won't give the ThorZaiN the tip-off for a while. These Hellbats try and do the damage they want to do, killing off a lot of Zerglings very quickly. Picks up a few Hellions. Oh, wait a minute. He lost one of those in that medevac.
Good start here for DIMAGA, picking that off, and without taking really any losses to the drones. Only 2 drones in this game have gone down, as the second medevac is about to make its way in. 4 Hellions as well.
This could do a little bit of damage. He's not blocked off at the front there, so these Hellbats... a little bit of hesitation, tries to drop them in, but doesn't really do much.
Good defense here by DIMAGA, really good defense, taking pretty much no damage in this game.
Yeah, and because he hasn't transferred over to his 3rd, those Hellions really don't have too much to do.
Yeah, look at that. It's beautiful setup here for DIMAGA so far.
How many queens does he have out right now? Once again, 4. He's just playing that 4 style and getting that creep going quite quickly here as well. He's very adamant about that, and I like that a lot. If you can get that going, you have good vision on the map, as well as good speed and maneuverability around. So DIMAGA, so far, adapting very nicely.
Has dodged the first obstacle, but there's going to be another one now, and this is the same way that Stefano had. He didn't take any damage to the first 1 or 2, but took damage to the 3rd, or at least all 3 together. So we'll see. DIMAGA's got a lot of Roaches coming out, so I don't believe it's going to do any damage. 4 Hellions, though.
Well, no static defenses, no queens there to help out either. Does lose a few drones to that. 6 actually have died off so far.
The attack nobody expected. 4 Hellion run by.
You think I'm going cool for Hellbats? Ha ha ha. Oh well. Doing all right for himself. 102 supply right now to 101, keeping with things. Oh, good God. Well, that 3 medevac, 6 Hellbat drop now moving around here. Has been spotted, though.
He's going to be spotted. He's got 4 Roaches in the main. He's going to have to pull some more in. Oh, it's going towards the 3rd. He's got 4 on the 3rd as well. Ooh. Where are you going?
Well, he's going to drop them just around these Roaches so they can't actually escape. And actually, the Roaches on the high ground helping out as well. So this was kind of an odd position to drop them in, considering that those Roaches on the high ground could actually reinforce that.
Well, I don't think DIMAGA's going to... I don't know if he's going to drone at this point or continue Roach production, because he has Roach speed, I think, and he has 2-2 on the way. He's got a very high upgrade count compared to his opponent, and Hydra's down. So with Hydra's down, he will want to drone a little bit more here and take the gases on the 3rd base, because he can afford Roach production solely off what he has, but with the Hydra then going down, he can't quite afford it, so he will drone up just a little bit further. At this point, another drop is heading in.
Not spotted just yet. 2-2 should be on the way here for DIMAGA, as... Well, that's going to finish up way before Mr. ThorZaiN actually has 2-2. So, admittedly, ThorZaiN is getting some good infrastructure down back at home. He has quite a few barracks, 6 in total across these 3 bases, along with the factory, along with the starport, yada, yada, yada. And he's not being able to do the damage he wants to do with these realistically. He's only killed 7 workers thus far.
What we're going to see now is nothing but Hydra production beginning here, Claris, and he's going to try and break the 3rd base. His goal here is to get in, tank, and do damage with roaches, and ideally the Hydralisks to bring down the 3rd command center. If he can bring down the 3rd command center, he puts himself in a fantastic position to be able to go over to Hive, to 3-3, to Vipers, whatever. And that's why he's using Hydras this game instead of roaches. He's not looking just to straight out win the game. He's looking to bring that 3rd down. And
it's certainly a good point that you bring up, because I mean this is going to time out quite nicely. It's not pristine with the 2-2 finishing and then into 3-3, but if he just goes for the Hive right now, it's going to be all right. He's getting so many Hydralisks out, actually. He's going to be going up to 25 very, very soon.
And ideally, he'd like to hit when 2-2 is done. The question is, does DIMAGA move out? Because if he does, they're going in.
Yeah.
So how does DIMAGA balance this? Is he going to forget about it and just defend and go up to Hive and ignore everything? Or is he going to go? It's very difficult to call. It's a difficult decision to make for DIMAGA himself.
And this is the same as we saw in the previous game with them. It was a slightly different situation, but it's these awkward positions that ThorZaiN will put you in. Like, he knows the threat is looming. He knows it's there, but can he actually circumvent that? And really try and make this work out, DIMAGA?
Well, he's not hitting his 2-2 timing. I mean, he doesn't know exactly when his opponent's 2-2 is going to finish, and if he isn't going to go soon, then he's not going to go at all, because the tank count's increasing and so is the Marine count. So he's going to be content to sit back, take a 4th and 5th, keep defending, and ideally just go straight to 3-3 and probably use Vipers here. Eventually, I think we'll have to see a 3rd evolution chamber, or at least as soon as 3-3 is done, start melee upgrades, because he can't stay on this composition forever.
You're right. These roaches now still poking on forwards. I think he just wants to kind of get rid of these at this point, but because that's going in a bit weirdly. Or maybe he was actually wanting to go for the full engagement with the Hydralisks and just kind of line that up a bit strange. But 30 more Hydralisks are on the way, so he's going to go up to almost 40 very, very soon here. That is a massive amount of Hydralisks.
Yeah, Marines and tanks are great against this, so... Yeah. We'll see how DIMAGA's going to take this. He can't fight here, surely not. There's too many tanks.
Well, he catches one of them at the very front here. These tanks will be raining down a lot of damage on those Hydralisks from the back here, along with those Marines actually tanking damage as well on these Hydras. Slowly but surely, the Hydralisks are killing off the Marines, but the tanks still hold strong and push DIMAGA on back.
Yeah, 2 tanks weren't even sieged in that, but 20 more roaches are on the way with 24 lings. ThorZaiN's going to pick off this base, get off creep, and probably unsiege and go to a different location. I don't think he's going to want to stick around here unless all his reinforcements are there.
Another drop, actually down to the bottom left-hand corner here, killing off this 4th base pretty slowly, but Hellbats do a fair share of damage, as the Hydralisks and Roaches will have to come back and clean them up. And he's getting +3 carapace, actually. He doesn't start at +3 range.
Yeah, it's definitely a mistake. He just doesn't have enough gas. He has to start it. There it is. All right, so ThorZaiN's pulled all his forces together again. What he's going to aim to do is pull down the left-hand side flank and set siege tanks on the high ground again, and try to pick off that south base while taking a 4th. Here comes the Vipers as well. Nice pick up on the command center, or forced pick up on the command center.
Yeah, those Hydralisks and Marichas trying to move into position once again. They get a good few free tanks, actually. Queuing up those siege tanks on the fire, the Hydralisks there, but the Hydralisks just march on forwards along with these Roaches. And the Hydras, well, they actually push on through this. So DIMAGA now with 94 army supply against 90. ThorZaiN's reinforcements should be able to hold strong against this for now.
He caught that army unsieged, which is why he was able to win that victory, or win that fight, sorry, and claim victory there. And he's pushing forward. Only Hydras, though. He's got to be so careful. If these Marines marauders stim around, he can't afford to lose these Hydras.
And he doesn't have muscular augments, so he can't actually retreat quickly enough to be able to deal with that. Of course, he was trying to get the creep spread going very, very early on. Whoa, he catches a few free siege tanks there, though. Nice pickup by DIMAGA.
Yeah, this is just not working. I mean, Roach Hydra, I feel it only works if you hit timings with it precisely, which is not the case here. The longer the game goes on, tanks, marauders, marines will absolutely destroy this. There needs to be some form of splash damage, whether it be banelings coming in and infestors landing their fungal. Roach Hydra alone, I don't think cuts it at this level.
Yeah. And ThorZaiN is slowly but surely amassing himself a very, very strong army here. Along with that 3-3 finishing up, it's going to be hard for them to really deal with that.
Very difficult, I think. But one thing that's working well for DIMAGA is he's prevented his opponent from taking a 4th. But likewise, so is ThorZaiN technically here with this Hellbat drop and sniping that hatchery on the left-hand side or right-hand side.
Ooh, gets a few drones there, but at the end, does get cleaned up.
All right, so a 200 supply attack should be coming in when 3-3 is done. And it's about to begin. I think we're going to see all, well, I was going to say all the tanks on siege. I mean, one of the tanks on siege. Move down here, take the 4th base, and then move on forward to try to get position on DIMAGA's fourth. A drop on the right-hand side, pick on up base number 5. Nice play by ThorZaiN. Really good on this map. He's really good at keeping away or keeping the Zerg player away from expanding.
He's playing almost exactly the same as he was playing against Stefano. He just really, really likes the style, although DIMAGA here exhibiting a little bit more of a difference here from Stefano, as he is trying to keep ThorZaiN back as well, but with a Terran on 3 base, constricting a Zerg on 3 base, in the end, it's normally the Terran that wins out that fight.
All right, so as soon as ThorZaiN hits 200 supply, which he should be nearing on.
Whoop. Picks up some of the siege tanks. Nice pickups. Whoa, gets a lot of them. 4 actually get dragged fully into this army, but still that bio can do a lot of damage if he's not careful. There's another siege tank on the high ground as well, raining down havoc onto this army, and ThorZaiN just rips through it. The bio is too strong for the Roach Hydra.
It's 3-3, there's no splash damage. I just, every time a Zerg player attempts this, if it doesn't kill them early, it's not going to work here, and I'm very surprised that DIMAGA's insisting that this can work here. Trelmore 16 Hydralisk coming in, but ThorZaiN didn't drop too much in supply there and maintains 185, can take the 4th base again, and the 4th went down of DIMAGA at the south side, so he doesn't have much money left. He's got 150 gas in the bank, and slowly but surely is suffocating when it comes to his resources.
ThorZaiN playing very, very well once again here. He's shown already today that he is fantastic against Zerg, pushing DIMAGA back on once again here. Zerglings trying to flood on forwards, but they're not tanking enough for those Hydralisks just yet. He brings them back into that Siege tank line. Is he going to be able to do much? He tries to throw down the Blinding Cloud, but it's not enough as that bio. Too easily mobile, too easy to get out of that Blinding Cloud, and denies the base. DIMAGA's income is looking crippled, but ThorZaiN's isn't looking too amazing either, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, ThorZaiN has to take the 4th base. He has a command center available to go there. Oh no, I thought it was complete. He didn't actually complete it, so he'll want to do that and then just move over. But 200 supply versus 150, I think a single or 2 Ultralists on the way, which aren't going to be game changers. Compared to Stefano and how Stefano uses his army well to preserve it, in this instance, that's not possible. There aren't any fungals. There aren't Vipers pulling in units like we've seen before. It's just Roach, Hydra, Ling, and Ultra. They have to fight. They'll have to take losses.
You're right with those Ultras. I mean, especially considering that he doesn't actually have any good melee upgrades. So now ThorZaiN here just pressuring these bases once again. It finishes, and then he's like, well, yeah, you just finished that base. Time to kill that one again. And unfortunately for DIMAGA, he's still really, really strung thin. He's still constricted. ThorZaiN is doing a fantastic job of just strangling DIMAGA at this point.
He's the spoon terror man, that's what he does. He slaps you with it until you quit the game. Yep. And unfortunately, when you're getting slapped by a spoon, it means you can't have any money because there's no bases at all. It's very difficult for DIMAGA to actually have money to build anything at this point. And ThorZaiN is going to take a 4th base at the 12 o'clock here instead of the 9. And look how much energy's on that. Hello, mules.
Yummy, yummy mules.
Yeah,
is he going to go for it?
Well, he will do as soon as he goes over there to pull them down, and there they go.
A little bit of an engagement once again here. DIMAGA feels he's up against the ropes. He has to try and make something happen. That's a lot of firepower actually in those Hydralisks. The Ultralists trying to move on forwards to the front here as well. So he should be able to push this bio back, but at the cost of the majority of his army. And ThorZaiN behind this can replenish a little bit easier than DIMAGA. There's a few more units on the way. The siege tanks trying to help this out and getting some free extra damage off on some of those Hydras.
Yeah, with the mules going down on that north base here and some SCV. Whoa, there we go. Some mules coming down and then just a couple of SCVs transferred over there from the main base, which should be on their way. There they are. He's going to be able to just keep up unit production. He is down to 124 supply to DIMAGA. So DIMAGA somehow keeping in this game long, like we have seen Stefano do. But at this point, DIMAGA can't get higher than 100 supply. It's very, very difficult to get higher when he's long distance mining compared to ThorZaiN, who has that base mining, will be able to cool those mules down, make lots of money, make thousands of dollars, and rebuild his army.
I'm going to look at the income tab. Oh, that's painful. Oh, DIMAGA, you're up against it here, my friend. And there's a few infestors on the way to try and help him out with the army of ThorZaiN, but in the end, there's just not enough. He just doesn't have the firepower. Plus 3 weapons is going to start for these siege tanks. He's still producing them 2 at a time. He's producing the Marines 11 at a time. The army values right now 91 to 61 in favor of our red Terran friend.
And now that ThorZaiN's been able to mine from that base for a couple of minutes, he's used that 2,500 minerals per minute to his advantage. He's got a planted fortress on the left-hand side now. So unfortunately for DIMAGA, still not mining from a base, which is resulting in him keeping down to 108 supply. And ThorZaiN's already up to 180, and that's not gonna slow down now he's taking that 9 o'clock base. DIMAGA just doesn't have any resources left. He can't build anything if you don't have any money.
Unit counting station for him shows that he doesn't even have a single Ultralisk out yet. He's producing one, and that's going to have to work in tandem with these Infestors to be the strongest Ultralisk of all time. He does have a lot of Queens, so could keep it alive for a little bit longer, but look at the position ThorZaiN has just set up. Oh, dearie me.
Takes his time. The bunkers, yeah, you know why? Because I'm ThorZaiN, that's why. Adding on bunkers at this point is fortifying that position. And DIMAGA's going to come in from one last attack, and we all can see that it's not going to work, unfortunately, for the Ukrainian, but he's going to give it everything he's got.
The siege tanks well positioned to go back for miles and miles against this army. The one Ultralisk does end up falling. Infested Terrans, the last-ditch effort here of DIMAGA, but no, sirree. Those Hydralisks are going to melt, along with those Infestors and Queens walking on forwards, having a look around. The Bio and the siege tanks from the behind as well. DIMAGA down and out in game number 1. ThorZaiN doubling his opponent's supply. And that last Queen dies. GG for game number 1. ThorZaiN takes it. DIMAGA seemingly not happy.
Yeah, he has to change. I swear to God, he has to change from Roach Hydra. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to beat ThorZaiN. Did we see Roach Hydra from Stefano? We didn't. Every single time that DIMAGA's done this without ThorZaiN making a mistake, DIMAGA's lost. In this next game, he has to change it up. He's going to fall down to Challenger League if it doesn't happen.
And that's not a spot people want to be in. That really isn't. You've got the option. You can either move on to the round of 8 of Premier League, or you can fall down to the last round of Challenger League. Which do you pick, Apollo?
I want to go to Premier League.
Yeah?
Yep, I want to stay there because the money's good, and I'm on camera.
You're on camera, that's right.
I mean, if whoever wins this game, basically, I think it's $3,500 that they move into the round of 8 with. So it's a lot of money,
yeah,
and it is that. And then it doubles up higher and keeps on going. So it's very important, and I guess the biggest point is to stay in Premier League. Just being in Premier League guarantees you $1,500. So to a certain extent, it's actually more than $3,500. It's that extra $1,500 as well through qualifying for the next season. So there's a lot of money on the line between these two players, and also the importance of just winning.
And when you get to the round of 8, it gets to the point where you're in a bracket. You're not in a group stage anymore. You don't have to necessarily prepare for 3 players at exactly the same time, although you could make an argument for that you do. If you beat your opponent, then you've got the 2 players in your bracket, blah, blah, blah. But still, you go in fresh, you go in knowing your opponent in and out in a best of 5, I believe. And then from that point on, we see if you can advance on. And both these players are hungry for it. Both of these players want that. EG wants that. DIMAGA's prospective new team might want that. Here in the round of 8, DIMAGA 1 loss away from being knocked down to Challenger. Game number 2 is loading and good to go. This is tense, guys. This is the last chance for both of these players to advance on. So, without further ado, let's jump into game number 2 here. So we have ThorZaiN and DIMAGA facing off once again. Spawning down to the bottom right, as our Red Terran here, representing EG and Sweden, 1 win away from advancing on to the next round here in WCS EU Premier. Give it up for ThorZaiN. And then we have this man spawning up to the top left as our Blue Zerg. He needs to win this, or he is down in Challenger League. Give it up for DIMAGA. All right, Apollo.
Time to bring the Banelings.
Time to bring the Banelings.
That's what I think. Time to bring the Banelings, DIMAGA.
He strayed away from it. It's apparently betrayed him, Apollo. I don't know where down the line, but it's apparently betrayed him.
I don't know who's been betrayed, DIMAGA or the Banelings at this point.
Oh.
Please, please.
They're just
let me win
in their little nests, kind of screaming out to DIMAGA.
That's exactly how I'd imagine a Baneling speaking.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that he needs to change it up over to Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk style. On this map, we saw what happened when ThorZaiN played against Stefano. ThorZaiN was hitting strong, despite not picking up the win. That was more to Stefano's brilliance than ThorZaiN making mistakes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if ThorZaiN's allowed to be comfortable and get into the rhythm of things, this is going to be a hard game.
It really is. A very, very strong map here from ThorZaiN. I would not be surprised in the slightest if we see him executing exactly the same tactic that he used against Stefano. because it was ridiculously strong. And DIMAGA, he has to have watched that game. He has to know that's coming. He has to.
No, he's definitely expecting something along those lines, and it could start with Hellbats again. I don't think we're going to see Banshee. That was actually tricky play coming out from ThorZaiN to confuse Stefano. Stefano saw 3 Hellbat drops in a row, and then Banshee just throws you off, but unfortunately it didn't work, so I don't think he's going to even bother to try in this game, and he may just go over for Hellbat drops. To be honest, it wasn't that successful last, but it didn't hurt him because he was able to get his third up. He's keeping his opponent back, and to be honest, even if you don't get drone kills, it's the threat of being dropped that stops Zerg players moving out and being aggressive. So if that's the case, then it's already a success if the Zerg player doesn't move out.
Yeah, you're right. And with that, we're going to have to see here if DIMAGA can actually kind of contend with ThorZaiN on arguably one of ThorZain's best maps here in TVZ. He's already got that barracks up and running. He's getting a few Marines out. Maybe might go Overlord hunting, but I doubt it at this point. And positioning himself so he can get that factory down super quick as well. So won't be surprised if it's the Hellbats. Wouldn't be surprised in the slightest.
And it's even difficult for DIMAGA. I mean, maybe some people are like, well, why doesn't DIMAGA try an early Baneling Roach Bust or something before, you know, ThorZaiN gets into the swing of things? The problem with that is that if ThorZaiN opens Hellbat drops again, you're only going to have Queens left at home to defend usually because, of course, you're trying to kill him. And if that's the case, then Hellbats and Medivacs beat Queens, and then you have nothing left to defend.
Yeah.
And at the same time, ThorZaiN can build mines and his own Hellbats back at home to defend. So it's actually a little bit more difficult to pull off a successful play like that. But look at this. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
There, ThorZaiN.
Tricky little dagger. All right. We have that factory.
But there is a difference, though.
Ah.
I actually wasn't looking. I was only looking at the screen, not the production tab. Third command center and then second gas.
Yeah.
So it is changed up a little bit. I was thinking that it was a little bit late. So it's changed up a little bit here. Taking the second gas at this point actually doesn't mean that he's going Hellbats anymore. What we should be seeing is Hellions. As soon as the barracks lands, we'll see the Tech Lab and Stim, and most likely just double engineering bay coming down. So he's actually not going for Hellbats at all in this game, for once.
But in the end, this could potentially mean that ThorZaiN begins that kind of march towards that third a little bit quicker if he has the bioproduction facilities up and running.
Yeah, he's actually playing like Innovation and Flash does right now. Like he's using their style, their build. Double engineering bay down nice and early. What will come next is production. It will depend on, well, actually, it doesn't depend on anything. I'm just talking about depending on when his Widow Mines come out. It's usually 2 to 4 Hellions. Sometimes you go more, like 4GG does. But usually 4 is on the safe mark. 6 is okay, because that offers you quite a lot of aggression and then into Widow Mine protection. But it's all about keeping the Hellions alive. It's all about micro, because the more you keep these Hellions alive, the easier it is to take a third base, because they can use defensively with Widow Mines to protect it.
Good control there by ThorZaiN as well on that watchtower. Whoa, but those Zerglings actually flood on into the natural. He has to evacuate that out. That's really, really annoying there for ThorZaiN. He didn't really have much to defend that, and they get in. The Marines are going to help out, but they get in and they get at least one SCV kill.
Is it just one?
Yeah.
Just one, and loss of mining time.
Yeah.
It disturbs, and a supply block. So it's actually disturbed ThorZaiN a little bit there, because he was dealing that, he lost his rhythm, and he gets supply block there. So that's actually worth it for only killing one of those SCVs. It was definitely worth it, causing a mistake by pressure.
And with those 12 drones on the way, that's going to move him up onto that 56 drone mark. Quite nice, but he needs to make sure he doesn't transition over to his third too quickly. He does lose Creep Tumor. Could have cancelled that. That was quite a long time he had there.
And we're seeing Roach upgrades again. He refuses to change it up. He's very, very stubborn with using Roach Hydra, and that's what he seems to be going here for. I'd be very surprised if it was Infestation Pit and over for Swarm Hosts.
I'm still curious as to what happened over the duration of this week. If DIMAGA wins and Red Eye gets an interview with him, please take note and please please ask this question.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to know why he's so insistent. But we are going to have the third base down. The Hellions have not been lost. The third command center has not been spotted, and Widow Mines are going to protect it anyway at this point. DIMAGA's supply capped again. Look, I mean, not again, but again in this series. But to both of these players making small little mistakes at this point, and that's going to allow ThorZaiN uncontested third base, completely uncontested.
Yeah, and Galil Reconstitution is on the way. The Widow Mine's going to help out this bio push quite considerably here. I think he just barely saw this with the Overlord actually moving on out there, so should know that that is a potential threat. As
How many tech labs does ThorZaiN have on barracks? Oh, there's a couple of units on the natural.
He has one right now.
Just a couple of lings got killed off. Just one.
Yep.
Okay, these 2 barracks, if he is going to be in the best of best shapes, tech labs.
Yeah.
At least 1. 2, not so much. You don't have to, but 2's good.
Get those Marauders out, help him out against those Roaches. Really, really important. And those Roaches actually going to push on forwards here.
It's double reactor. So he's going to be very marine heavy here. But he sees all these Roaches, so I'm surprised he didn't add an additional tech lab there. Just to be able to, pump out a couple Marauders. It does 2-2 on the way and a 3rd base down. For now, DIMAGA should be starting to get medivacs out, and he's going to start dropping all over the place. Needs to defend this 3rd base. He doesn't have combat shields yet, and there's nothing really there. 30 supply army.
He's kind of taken this really, really quickly, a little bit more than one would have expected. He's throwing down a bunker, but that's in range of that Overlord. He hadn't actually seen this expansion before that bunker actually went down.
Silly SCV.
So, yeah, this SCV is a traitor, basically.
And now this is going to be forced up. All these SCVs are going down. This is a big, big win for DIMAGA.
He wouldn't have gone there otherwise. Oh, well. And that actually cuts off a lot of reinforcements as well. 2-2 is on the way for these Roaches, and he has to hold it his natural for now.
And he will hold on the natural. This won't be broken, but that 3rd base not being mined from is putting, ThorZaiN behind at this point.
Whoa, and look at where DIMAGA's taking his 4th base. He's like, well, I don't really care.
Well, it's going to be a role reversal in this game.
Yeah.
DIMAGA's the one piling the pressure onto the 3rd base instead of ThorZaiN. So I think the Hydralisk Den came down. I'm pretty sure it did. So after these 10 Roaches, nothing but Hydra... Oh, he's supply capped again. God damn it, DIMAGA. After these Overlords finish, not those Roaches, it'll be Hydralisks. And he doesn't even care about getting Hydralisk speed, you see? Because he's going to be happy with his creep spread if it keeps on pushing forward. And then he's going to look to do the same thing that ThorZaiN did to Stefano and kill the 3rd.
Discounting all of these supply blocks that he's got himself into, and he's blocking that 3rd. How annoying there for ThorZaiN. He has to push that away. But if he hadn't have got those supply blocks, DIMAGA would be max right now, and actually he could just kill ThorZaiN. This is a bit out of control from ThorZaiN. He's not doing as well as he was prior on this map. And I have to say, it's...
Roach Hydra is good versus mines alone, especially when there's not that many of them, and only 1 tech lab and...
Ooh, but ThorZaiN trying to bring himself back into it here. This is a really, really good way of doing so. Catches a Queen, catches a Hydralisk. That's already done damage enough to be able to deal with that. Going for the aggression here, once again, chasing on these Roaches.
Remember, it is 2-2 versus non-2-2 here, so that the Marine Marauders do have an advantage.
We'll try and run away with that medevac drop as well. He's just going to continue piling on the pressure here against these Roaches. Has to move back. And he's trying to use... Oh, he uses the brush to his advantage there, as DIMAGA could not see over that, where the medevac's actually providing the help there for this bio. So a good trade for ThorZaiN. He loses a lot of his bio in the end, though.
DIMAGA's got momentum. All we need to do is keep waypointing units over here with this momentum swing. ThorZaiN's trying to prevent it with this drop, but DIMAGA, all he needs to do is keep building Roach and Hydras, mostly Hydras, because Hydras are the things that are going to kill the command center, and he's got such a good amount of Roaches already. He's got enough camping, tanking ability. DIMAGA just needs to keep waypointing over and will win this game if he pushes this base off.
Should be able to. He's trying to clean up the drops in the main, and he will actually clean that up in the end. He even catches
command
one or two of those as well. Will he get the command center?
Yeah,
and it looks it's going to burn down. DIMAGA bringing himself back into this series with furious vigor. It's such a fantastic move here. An 88 army supply against 42. ThorZaiN is on the ropes here.
ThorZaiN's not doing good at all in this game. It's 3 to 4 bases roughly for DIMAGA once he gets over there, and there's only 2, and he had to rebuild the 3rd command center. DIMAGA's just going to win this game right out. I mean, he could just go and win it now. There's too many units.
This army is phenomenal. He's going to crush down all of this bio. He's forced to retreat into his natural once again. And there you go. GG, well played for game number 2. It wouldn't be the final series of the round of 16 without a final game in a best of 3, 1-1.
Yeah, and I definitely feel that DIMAGA missed up with... not DIMAGA, sorry. ThorZaiN made a couple of mistakes. Not so many mines over on that 3rd base. No bunker down. To be honest, against Roach Hydra, tank production is pretty good to continue to do so. We've seen that a lot from ThorZaiN today, but in this game, with a different style and a different build, he didn't switch over to tanks. And DIMAGA played a good game, though. Yep. Played a much better game, making Roach Hydra work one way or the other, forcing it out, forcing a win.
Yeah, and now, moving on to our final map, Neoplanet S, where we saw DIMAGA do pretty well with his Roach Hydra style, I believe, against ThorZaiN. This was the map he won, right?
Which map, sorry?
Neoplanet S.
Yes, this was the map he won on.
Yeah.
Every game today, 2-1. Long day today, 20 past 11 already. Lots of StarCraft action. As ThorZaiN DIMAGA get ready to battle for the last time. The last game of the round of 16 here. Fighting for a position in the round of 8 and a position to keep in the Premier League.
Yeah, a lot of Terrans already there. 2 Zergs and 1 Protoss. Will we have a 3rd Zerg, or do Terrans continue to be dominant here in WCS Europe Premier League? Both these players now taking a moment to compose themselves, get ready for this next game.
Think about what they're going to do. You know, is DIMAGA going to pile on Roach Hydra again? Does ThorZaiN now go back to using Hellbat drops?
Yeah.
That didn't work out for him. And to be honest, that was the weakest game of ThorZaiN's entire day against Zerg. That was really weak.
And sorry to just go on off a tangent here, Apollo, but after this series, guys, we actually have the round of 8 drawing for the brackets. So make sure to stick to the stream, guys, and see exactly who is going to be playing against who, because that is extremely important. Does ThorGG get his dream of just going Terran after Terran after Terran? Does Baby Knight decide to just go all ham on all the Zergs? We'll have to see here. As we now move into the final game of tonight between ThorZaiN and Mr. DIMAGA. Let's jump in to Neoplanet S. As we have spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner. Shortest intro of all time. Guys, give it up for ThorZaiN. And then there's this man, tying it up 1-1. Give it up for DIMAGA.
Both of these players have been in the ESL office today. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Temple.
Really?
He's trying to catch a command center first here.
I think it's going to be a command center first on the high ground, if it's going to happen.
DIMAGA hasn't done anything like this all day. Is ThorZaiN? Let's have a look at how many SCVs he's got queued up here.
He said in the chat before, 1 minute, please. He brings it back.
Oh, he's gonna go command center first here.
I can't believe he's doing this.
He's gonna go command center first here, and is it gonna be on the high ground or low ground? This is incredibly important. An extractor coming down as well here.
DIMAGA said...
So it's just gonna be to cancel and continue drone production, and then an overload will come next, but oh my gosh.
DIMAGA said in the chat he needed 1 minute, please. Both of them were just sat there, not doing anything. DIMAGA was seriously just considering this eventuality. And he's bringing it out in the most important game.
No.
He's going on the high.
Oh, ThorZaiN.
He needs to start a barracks so quickly off the back of this.
Well, it's going to be fine because the barracks will start straight away. 6 slings on the way. ThorZaiN's going to be fine here. ThorZaiN's actually going to be fine. DIMAGA's in a world of trouble. The barracks comes down straight away. The next SCV goes across to build this barracks as he gets 150 minerals. He'll have a complete wall off. There it is.
Right.
It's even coming out earlier than that.
So he should be able to deal with this. Oh, he sends the one out for the scouting purposes here.
Scouting purpose. ThorZaiN. DIMAGA's in so much trouble at this point. He's sacrificed so much economy. He's checking, and DIMAGA sees no command center, and oh my God, he's going to take a spin south and sees that it is on the top here. And a big sigh must be coming out from DIMAGA as he realizes that he has blown away so much of his economy in the early stages.
He could start nibbling away at the barracks. I mean, it'll probably finish anyway.
It'll finish and then just get repaired, unfortunately. Like, this is a complete wall off. And the only way that this could not work is if the SUV gets caught, and then he just brings another one and he keeps on going. So, DIMAGA took a gamble here and it hasn't paid off.
And look what he's doing. We're actually creating this barracks. He was making sure that the SCV wouldn't go on the other side. He was constantly building, not building, building, not building.
A couple more SCVs to keep the repair up, though.
Yeah, one SCV catches itself on the other side of that, just as that command center ends up finishing off. So he gets a little bit of damage, but not a whole lot. This has not done what it wants for DIMAGA, and he's taking that expansion behind it as well as droning up.
Yeah, just as long as ThorZaiN's calm here, it shouldn't get broken down. As long as he doesn't make a mistake. That's it. Just 2 SCVs there, and one on the other side, and Marine's going to pop out in a minute, and then he can pull another one off in a bit. And successful hold here by ThorZaiN. Nice and calm, patient play. Whew. And in a moment, with a couple... and the second barracks, by the way, is to increase the Marine count faster so that he can take the natural earlier. Because if it was just one barracks, he wouldn't have the Marine count until now. But great micro here from DIMAGA. Look at that.
Yeah, really kind of retaining those lings. That's very, very important. He actually makes the supply depot burn once again. He's going to try and go for it.
Wait, no, second SCV. Second SCV.
Well, okay, he's going to bring that. A little bit close.
ThorZaiN.
Tried it. Cheeky DIMAGA, the cheeky Zerg.
Oh, and an Overlord. Oh my gosh, an Overlord's. Oh, look at it. You can see on screen shaking his head there. DIMAGA, a failed temple. He's lost an Overlord.
At the same time, though, great moves there by ThorZaiN to realize that Overlord was on the way in. It can be all too easy to focus all of your attention on the ramp for a long time there, but he was able to deal with that.
And this SCV spots the gas as well, so he knows everything that DIMAGA has, and DIMAGA has capable. So ThorZaiN, beautiful setup so far. He can take a third command center in his main base, or actually, no, he's going to get that factory first, isn't he? Sorry, missing part. Will want that third probably very shortly, but he's fine. He's defended.
Yep, it's 29 drones right now to 22 SCVs.
Another SCV going out. He's trying to get towards the third base to see if it's gone down. He's trying to see if any more roaches have magically came out of nowhere.
Yeah. He wants to know if that aggression is going to follow it up once again as DIMAGA feels he's set back. And those Marines actually now moving out here for ThorZaiN. That's quite annoying because that's going to at least force a few more Zerglings out.
Ooh, 6 lings have been made. DIMAGA. DIMAGA is going to keep on building lings here, right? Surely. Or is he just dealing with these Marines potentially? No, he's increasing it again.
Yeah,
I wonder if he's just going to keep on building lings at this point. He's got a lot of gas in the bank here. 4 drones do come out. He's got 100 gas in the bank. What are you going to do, DIMAGA? It's incredibly tense here as we figure out what he's planning to do. Ooh, that was quite stressful there with those lings coming out. It looks like he is just going to be able to deal with those Marines that poked out. And we'll take a third base. Not going to try and be overly aggressive.
So still economical focus here from ThorZaiN after what has occurred. Not too bad an option here. 29 workers to 38 in favor of DIMAGA right now. He is still
that's a
trolling
scan.
around.
You don't see that very often from a Terran player, but he scans to see if there's anything crazy going on. I actually saw a wave of drones coming down, so he knows he's safe.
Whoop, slips. Nope, doesn't want to go in. That's too much firepower there from ThorZaiN. Will get away from those Hellions or not, because he doesn't actually have speed, but there is going to finish in a second, so he could actually tickle away at those, but the Marines helping out does zone it out for now.
22 lings being made just to kill off any Marine Hellion push-outs, and I think we'll see 1-1 and then just drones going over to this third base shortly, and it is going to be Roach Hydra again.
All right.
DIMAGA.
All right, so considering and assuming that we have DIMAGA in a bit of an odd economical spot in comparison to... Wait a minute, how is he...
Look at combat shields being researched over Stim.
Yeah.
All right? What he's going to do is go for a Marine Hellion push-out when combat shields is done to try and damage his third base.
That bunker did get cancelled by 1 ling. Good stuff.
Counter coming in. Counter coming in.
That's a lot of Zerglings. He could do the damage. He could even up things quite nicely here. He gets those Hellions. A great move here by DIMAGA. There's nothing actually in that bunker either. He engages fully with SCVs. This is kind of catastrophic here for ThorZaiN. He's already lost 10 workers. He's lost 15. He's lost 18. DIMAGA's killing off a lot here.
Oh my God,
It's 46
DIMAGA.
workers to 25.
One move could have just put him into the Premier League to keep him going through to the round of 8 here. Marines, it doesn't matter really if that goes down. The amount of damage he's done to the SCV line, SCV's going off. ThorZaiN drops to 40 supply. DIMAGA with 1 swift counterattack. ThorZaiN with 1 mishap not to have the supply depots up, or at least pull them up in time.
Oh, and the Zerglings are trying to work on these Marines as well. More actually do flood in, so he should be able to kill them off eventually. If those go down, the army supply for ThorZaiN is almost non-existent. He has 7 army supply against 25.
DIMAGA fighting from behind throughout of all of this. Is now in a commanding lead. He has 1-1 about to finish. A massive wave of drones should go over.
And ThorZaiN's upgrades are so far behind as well. And he's got Ling Bane, Ling Muta.
Mutalis, oh my gosh, what a decision that is. So what he's looking to do is say, all right, you know every single game I got Roach Hydra? You remember ThorZaiN, I go Roach Hydra, right? You know what you don't need is turrets, right? You don't need turrets.
No.
No, you don't need them. Look how much gas the DIMAGA has right now, 600.
Oh.
By the time the spy finishes, that's going to be like 12 to 14 Mutalisks.
He never scouted out the evolution chambers, so he hasn't sold like that full idea, but at the same time that could have meant melee upgrades anyway.
If he was going to change it, would have changed so much earlier. So This is going to be difficult for ThorZaiN if he
really
doesn't have
is.
turrets up here.
And he's not producing Marines, he's only producing Hellions, and he's getting the armory.
Yeah.
So all of his production is going to be focused on Hellions and Hellbats.
The thing is that
+2 too.
he doesn't need a mass amount of Mutalisks. He only needs 6 or 7 and then just go back to Roach Hydra. Because all they need to do is go in and kill SCVs. If there's no turrets or a lack of Marines, they'll do it. And then he just goes back to Roach Hydra anyway.
Yeah. And when you say lack of Marines, he only has 6 out on the field right now. The Spire just finished. He now pumps out 7 Mutalisks.
Yeah, that's all he needs. He can
That is
actually
all he
probably
needs.
stop after that and throw down the Hydra Den. I mean, he can if he wants to keep going, but I don't think he will. I think he'll stop. And wow, what a game. One move.
What a game.
One move to change everything, to change the entire state of this best of 3. Oh, dearie
ThorZaiN
me,
sees the
ThorZaiN.
Hellions.
Still no turrets as well.
So DIMAGA sees the Hellions even. He could try and throw down some buildings, but now he reveals the Mutalisks here in a response to actually defend against that. He needs to throw down missile turrets right away, and he starts 1. He needs more than that, though, in the end. He needs to protect both the mineral lines. He needs to protect infrastructure as well, because he doesn't have that many Marines that are mobile in this position, and he goes into the Roach production, and Stim is not done either.
A single Zergling has been denying the third base of ThorZaiN for about a minute. It's just been there, and ThorZaiN hasn't done anything about it. This is terrible for ThorZaiN. DIMAGA has 2-2 on the way. Okay, Baneling Speed is going to be the big bang, the big firework that DIMAGA wants to end this series with. Stim!
Oh my God, Stim! He's
needs
that! Oh dear me!
Stim!
If anything was gonna keep ThorZaiN in it, it was gonna be Stim, but now trying to battle on behind this. He loses 1 or 2 of the Mutalisks to that, but the Roaches are now piling across the map here. Army counts 82 supply to 35, and the wall is open once again.
I mean, the wall's open. DIMAGA doesn't even need his fireworks to finish this game. He wants to finish it with Baneling Speed and a big Baneling Roach bust, but it doesn't matter. The door's open.
I cannot
no
believe
Stim.
it.
Only 1-1 upgrades versus 2-2 Roaches. No Medivacs, no tanks, no mines, no... Okay, 1 tank, but he is in so much trouble. ThorZaiN.
Supply blocked as well here. ThorZaiN, the only way he can produce units is if he loses them. That command center is going to burn down unless he somehow, some way gets it back by an absolute miracle. Infestation Pit, Hydralisk Den going down. 16 drones behind all of this. DIMAGA knows he is in a commanding position. The 2 siege tanks are going to try and hold on, but the Mutalisks fly in, trying to pick off 1. The second one goes down to the Roaches as well. All there is left is Marines. GG, well played. DIMAGA is able to take the series after a blisteringly crazy game number 3. And that means we have our 3rd Zerg confirmed in the round of 8.
All right, let me just tell you what happened. DIMAGA was getting beaten up game after game after game. He couldn't find a way to beat ThorZaiN, and then bam, counterattack, and he's in the lead. 1 single move pushed DIMAGA into the round of 8. 1 single move keeps him relevant in the WCS Europe Premier League. How happy is he, but how sad is ThorZaiN?
The cheeky Zerg from catastrophe to glory in game number 3.
10 pull that failed, Claris.
I know!
A 10 pull that failed versus a command center on the high ground.
Oh my God. I'm done. I'm done. It's too stressful. It's too stressful.
And it's stressful, but a massive victory for the Ukrainian. The only Ukrainian left in WCS here today moves on to the round of 8. A very happy DIMAGA there. Wow, what a series, what a day. 2-1 games everywhere.
3 Zergs, 4 Terrans, and 1 Protoss now comprise of that round of 8. And after the round of 16, I don't think I can handle it anymore.
Yeah.
After things like that, I'm not sure DIMAGA can handle it anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, adrenaline's pumping right now for everybody who was watching that. A great game.
Right, well, I believe that very soon, yeah, our interview is ready with the victor in the form of DIMAGA. Let's send it straight up to those guys. We're done here. In a second.
Okay, with DIMAGA right now. Congratulations, DIMAGA. Fantastic set of games. We've had 2-1s all night, actually, and I guess it was appropriate that we had another 3-mapper. You like to do it the hard way. Let's go... Actually, do you know what? Let's talk about the 3rd map, because the first 2 was like Roach Hydra. You won 1, you lost 1, so it all comes down to the 3rd map. Why the temple? Why the big risk?
Because like all 6 games we play with ThorZaiN, first game he played Rex into CC into Helion drops, and all other 5 before this match, all 4, yeah 5, even 4, CC first only in low ground. I said was first, okay, I just take a risk, but then bam, he makes the CC first, but at his like save CC first, I was no way. He was like, so he win mind games. I don't know how it's possible that I win.
So at that point, the temple's failed. That's it. You're out. You're out of the Premier League. So what do you do to change things up? Some crazy-ass DIMAGA build from where?
I don't know. It was starting from that his STV wasn't so lucky, and always like come to my links, and I kill few of them. Also, after that, I lose my overload, and everything is sorry, but fucked up. So I don't know. I just after probably the big game breaker move was when I run by with links, and then defended that Marine as well after next. I was so many luck in that game on my side, so thanks a lot to luck.
Yeah, thanks a lot to luck. So what do we call that build now?
So, sorry?
What do we call that build? Temple into Lings into what?
I don't know, it was like Temple into Links, into Muta, into Roaches, because I have upgrade, and then like, yeah, I don't know, probably like that.
Crazy build, that's what we'll call that one. Well done, though. You are through to the round of 8. You're going to stick around. We're going to do the round of 8 draw. Is there anyone you want to play, anyone you don't want to play?
I'm like in round of 8, everyone is really, really strong. So I think in round of 8, I can make even like better game than today.
Okay. Well, congratulations. You are through to the quarterfinals of the Premier League in Europe. Well played. Okay. We're going to go back to our experts desk right now for a recap of the entire day. It's been a crazy, fantastic day in Group D. We had no idea who was going to win it. Well, we did really, but we had no idea who was going to come second. This man has. Take it away, guys.
Hello, we're in the crowd.
In the crowd.
We're no longer... A lot of happy DIMAGA fans here after that victory. Hold on, I lost my connection to the Matrix. How are you doing, Clarice? You enjoy your round of 16 week?
Yeah, actually, it's been pretty impressive. I didn't think that it would trump the round of 32 quite as much as it has done, but apparently things got stepped up, and moving on to the round of 8, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so much fun. We've had a great set of games all week. We can actually take a look at the groups and show you who's now advanced and going into the round of 8. There's an amazing set of players, as we can see. Group A, TLO representing Germany, and of course 4GG, Happy Baby Night, Lucifron MVP, and today Stefano and DIMAGA.
Kind of a shame that a lot of these players have had to go out, but going into the round of 8, somebody has to, right? So that's not the best situation for some people, but I mean, the round of 8 looks spectacular, and actually we get to find out who plays each other very soon.
That's right. We're actually going to be going into the group drawings very soon, so stay tuned. We'll be going into that very shortly. Have you guys had fun here? I hope you have. Good.
Good.
That was the response I wanted to have, so I'm happy you guys had fun. And I think that Carmack and Paul are ready to do the group drawings. Anything you want to say before we close it up?
I'm just looking forward to seeing what Carmack's wearing, to be honest with you.
Carmack's wearing? What are you on about?
Well, I mean, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see.
Oh, it's my favorite game that Carmack lost, rock, paper, scissors. So we'll have to see what's going on over there. All right, go ahead, Red Eye, and also Carmack. Let's have a look at the group drawings.
Thanks very much, guys. It has been a fantastic week of StarCraft 2. It has come to an end, the round of 16, in spectacular fashion in our final game. Joined by Carmack, the man who has lost many bets this week, amazingly. I've actually won one against him for the first time in 10 years. Serious stuff now. Round of 8 draw, quarterfinals. Some big names in that tumbler already. What do you want to come out of this? Have you got any particular matchups you might want to look forward to?
Actually, it's so extremely stacked. It's difficult to ask for one particular match or another. But Elias, why don't you sit over there with the audience, where the cameras can see you? We'll try to catch your expression as I draw a good opponent for you.
So he specifically has asked for a Korean. So it's down to you. I'm not putting any more pressure on you than there's already there, but there is a lot of pressure on drawing out a Korean for Stefano.
It's been a long evening, but we've got 4GG in second place, and we've got MVP in second place, which is very interesting. And I don't think many people would have predicted two Koreans actually being in this pool of second place finishers. So it's quite interesting here at WCS Europe.
Okay, I'm hearing that we've got to buy ourselves a minute or so. So just let us talk about some of the players that didn't make it. There's Naniwa in there, there's Sase, and ThorZaiN. So none of the Swedes, despite the fact that we often talk about the Swedish community being very strong in StarCraft 2, none of the Swedes have made it to the quarterfinals. That's a huge shock.
Yes, it is. Obviously, Naniwa, on a good day, he's one of the very best Protoss players in the world, not just in Europe. So obviously he's had a bad day. ThorZaiN has played some really good games as well here. And I think in another group he may have actually advanced. To me, this is a group of difficulty, as you guys have put it, throughout the entire day. So bit of a shame for the Swedes. I'm pretty sure they will come back much stronger. Obviously Sase was sick. So you could say that Swedes were a little bit unlucky actually in the round of 16.
Yeah, okay. It's important to make the point as well is that we've got the finals for Europe Season 1 next week, but it's one of 3 that counts towards the finals at the end of the year where the top 5 from each region go through. So there's still plenty of chances for the Swedes to come back. Still plenty of chances for some of the other players who maybe fell at the earlier stages. I mean, White Ra, for instance, didn't even make it through. So there's still chances for these guys.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a very open league. Top 8 stays for the next season in the Premier League. And the rest of Europe is actually fighting for 24 spots. So there's a big fluctuation, and we can see people like Sortov and several other Swedes actually being in that top 32 of Europe. And this is what actually makes the WCS so fantastic this year, is that there are so many players out there that have this real reachable, grabbable chance to actually become that pro gamer and reach that glory. Actually, everything is sponsored for them by Blizzard. They come in here for free. Flights are sponsored, they are fed, they can train, no problems at all. So your online performance only, not your ability to find sponsors or anything. That is the only factor that determines whether or not you're in the Premier League. And it's all year round. That's the big difference. Last year you had one tournament in your country, and if you failed, that's it, if you don't have any sponsorships. This time it's all year round, it's online, you can try every single month almost, and this is what makes it beautiful.
Lovely. Okay, it's time to make the draw for the round of 8. Ladies and gentlemen, hold your breath. This is going to be a bumpy ride. Are we ready for the first name to be drawn out? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay, Carmack's ready. So let me just explain how this is going to work, okay? It is a slightly complicated seeded group draw. That means that none of the winners can face each other. Likewise, none of the second place players can face each other either. There is also some additional rules, which are that none of the players who played together in the group, whether they finish first or second, can play each other before the final. So first of all, we're going to draw out the second placed players in order. Let's draw the first player. The first player to be drawn for the WCS Europe Season 1 finals for the round of 8 is... Show the camera. DIMAGA. Okay, 1 down, 3 to go. The second player drawn for the WCS Europe Premier League round of 8 is MVP. So MVP will go into the second spot on the bracket. Draw number 3. 2 balls left. Let's see who is number 3 out of the draw for the round of 8. 4GG. Okay, so that's 3 down, 1 to go. I think we all know who the last one is, but let's just make sure confirmation and be official for the 4th and final player out of the draw. DIMAGA from Group D, MVP from Group C, and 4GG from A. And the final one is, of course, Baby Knight. Drawn into 4th place. So, as you can see from the bracket on the right-hand side of your screen right now, DIMAGA and MVP are in the same side of the bracket. That means that we have D and C. They can't play D or C1. So let's grab the balls from A and B. And 4GG and Baby Knight are also in the same side of the draw. There are 2 balls placed in now which can't meet either of the teams, either of the players from A or B. So these go into the upper half of the bracket. Are we ready then? For the first draw. The first match in the round of 8 WCS Europe Premier League Season 1 finals will be... It will be DIMAGA's opponent. Let's wait and see what DIMAGA looks like right now. Are we ready? DIMAGA will play.
I want to see DIMAGA's face.
DIMAGA will play Happy. He seems relatively pleased with that. Okay, let's take the final ball out for this side of the draw. So Happy against DIMAGA is our first matchup. Our second matchup will be MVP versus TLO. That's a huge game right there. MVP versus TLO. Well, we said the games would only get bigger and bigger, didn't we? The final 2 balls will be placed in, and we will have Stefano or Lucifron playing 4GG. Is Stefano about to get his wish of playing a Korean in the quarterfinals? Here we go then, the third draw for the WCS Europe Season 1 Premier League Finals, round of 8, is... Remember, this is playing 4GG, and 4GG will play Lucifron. That's a tough draw. Lucifron versus 4GG. Let's get the final ball out. It does mean that Baby Knight will take on Stefano. Let's just make sure that is the last one, officially. And there it is, confirmed. Stefano plays Baby Knight. So we have our quarterfinals, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, wouldn't you know it? Initial thoughts. I know it's early, and you know the draw's very fresh. But what do you think?
I think I just got a text from TLO saying, "What have you done?"
You may be in trouble with Germany as a whole, frankly. If you get out of here alive in a bumblebee costume, I'll be impressed. Okay, so that's the draw. The round of 8, the quarterfinals, call it what you will, for the WCS Europe Season 1 finals. Those 4 matches will be played on the 25th of May, followed by the semi-finals and the grand final on the 26th of May, and the tickets are still available. WCSfinals.eventbrite.com. Make sure you don't miss any of those 4 games. They're going to be absolutely amazing. I just want to check and see whether we have got the bracket ready. Are we able to show the full bracket on the screen? Okay, not quite yet, but we'll come back to it. Just before we close out the show, I guess highlights from the 4 days. They've all been very different. Group A was very interesting. Group B was very, very interesting. Some great games in Group B, actually. Group C, a bit weird. We called it the Group of Death, but they all ended 2-0. That hadn't ever happened in any of the groups we've played. And then today, they all ended 2-1, which we've never had either. So what was your highlight?
I have to say the highlight for me was that the results were not really predictable. So that this format keeps showing that, as many other tournaments actually, that anyone can become a superstar in StarCraft. And sometimes if you play, let's say, in a smaller tournament somewhere, if a lesser player, theoretically lesser player on paper, beats somebody like Stefano or DIMAGA, doesn't necessarily get the recognition for it. In this tournament, they do, which is fantastic. This tournament is a machine where stars are created. Like Baby Knight, for example, already last season in WCS, or Lucifron, already last season in the WCS, proved that they are really, really worthy of being called superstars. So just the upsets overall is something I really enjoyed seeing, because it shows that it's not just the top 5 famous players that have 50,000+ followers on Twitter. It's also the guys that really practice hard, and we will do our best here at ESL. Something you will see next week, to try to make them catch up a little bit, if not in Twitter followers, then at least in the number of fans, and build them as these 3-dimensional characters that they really are, and they're all interesting, fantastic people.
Okay, thank you very much. We do have confirmation of the bracket, ladies and gentlemen, so let's put that on your screen right now to confirm our round of 8 matches. You can see them on your screen right now. Happy versus DIMAGA, TLO versus MVP in the same half of the bracket as well. And in the bottom half of the bracket, what a monster that is, Lucifron versus 4GG, and the winner plays Stefano or Baby Knight. I don't know if it could have come out any tougher for Stefano. I don't know. He'll quite fancy that. I think he's got potentially a Korean in the second round, if the Korean doesn't get past Lucifron, and we all know how good he is right now, the new European Banjo, as he's been nicknamed. That is it from us at the WCS Europe round of 16. We hope you've enjoyed the entire week. My thanks to Mihao and all the crew here at the ESL. It's been an absolute roller coaster of a ride for the players as well. Stick around, because after this, we've got something monumental to come with my good friend Carmack, who is going to be dressed like you've never seen him before. Thank you so much for tuning in and coming down to the Cologne studios here in Germany. We'll see you next weekend live for the WCS Europe Finals. Stick around, we'll be back in 10 minutes.